So there's a series is generously sponsored by the Saka family and sponsored as well by Yelad and Avram Foreman. We are on the bracha of Allah Tzadikim v'Allah Chasidim. We've been describing what does it mean V'sein Sachar Tov l'chol abotchim b'shimcha be'emes. We ask Hashem to bestow, to grant a goodly schar. To not just give schar, don't just give a reward, but it's schachar tov, a good reward to all those who believe, not believe in you, but believe in your name. Abotchim b'shimcha be'emes. We left off last night that we explained that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we can't come to know, and we can't certainly impact. He's omnipotent, infinite, He's immutable, He's perfect, He's the source of all existence. That's why we make a Kiddush Hashem, or Chas v'Shalom Achilal Hashem. We can elevate, or we can sanctify His name, God forbid desecrate His name, but not Him. We can't change Him. And similarly, our bitachon, our faith and our trust is in His name, means how He's manifest, how we come to know Him, the part of Him that we have access to. But come back to the question of V'sein Sachar Tov l'chol abotchim b'shimcha be'emes. We asked a few days ago, Schar mitzvah b'hayam aleka. We don't have reward in this world, so why are we asking for a reward? And moreover, the Mishnah Navos, don't worship Hashem like an Eved amanas l'kabel pras. We don't do the right thing in order to get a reward. We do the right thing because it's the right thing. And all of a sudden, in this bracha, where we list and enumerate tzadikim, chasidim, v'chulei, and aleinu, we want to be counted among them, or the piece of us that's a tzaddik or a chassid, or ziknei amcha beis Yisrael, or the ger tzedek within us. And now we're asking Hashem, don't forget, we want to be that, but we also want you to pay us for it, give us a sachar tov for it. So I thought we don't ask for reward. So we gave one answer, which is, a life of bitachon, the schar is tov. Kol man da'avid rachman l'tav avid. When you live a life of bitachon, you're able to see and interpret and experience everything that happens in life and to you as not necessarily pleasurable. There are painful things that happen to good people, but there are no bad things that happen to good people. Kadosh Baruch Hu, by definition, all that He does is good. It may be painful, it could be unbearably painful, but somehow still, our faith and our trust is that it's good. So when a person lives, when we place our trust in Him, abotchim b'shimcha be'emes, the insane sachar, the reward is tov, is living a life where we see Hashem, kol man da'avid rachman l'tav avid. That's what we said previously. Others suggest that what is the sachar tov? When is it that schar mitzvah b'hayam aleka? When is it there's no reward in this world? Some extraneous external reward. So for example, if I made it to Minyan, I got there early, I didn't talk the whole time, I concentrated and I stayed till the end, let me bring in new business that day. Let my favorite team win in the playoffs that day. Let some external reward from the action that we did. But that's not what we're asking for here. What we're asking for here is that the result of the bitachon is that Hashem show us favor in that which we're having bitachon about. So we're putting our trust in you because something needs trust in that moment. Health, parnasa, marriage, fertility, that the flight take off on time, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is we're asking bitachon, Sein Sachar Tov, reciprocate that whatever we put our trust in you, indeed, in fact, let it help us. And this is commensurate with the pasuk in Tehillim Lamed Beis. Pasuk says, "Haboteach b'Hashem, Chesed Yisovevenu." Person who puts their trust in Hashem, Chesed surrounds them. So Hashem, by immersing ourselves in you, by letting go and letting God, by submitting and surrendering to you, by recognizing you're in charge, you're in control, we take our initiative, we do our part, and afterwards it's all up to you. Haboteach b'Hashem. The result is Chesed Yisovevenu. And what's the Sachar Tov that we're asking for? Is the Chesed Yisovevenu. We want to be surrounded by Chesed. Pasuk in Yirmiyah, Baruch HaGever Sheyiftach B'Hashem V'Haya Hashem Mivtacho. Also a pretty good, catchy song. What is this? Baruch HaGever Sheyiftach B'Hashem. And what's the result? Haya Hashem Mivtacho. So the Sachar Tov, the result, the reward is, when we put our trust in Hashem, we have a good relationship with Hashem. That, in fact, is the reward for that relationship. Our relationship with Hashem is like relationships in this world. If a couple put trust in one another, confide in one another, love one another, demonstrate that loyalty to one another, they don't get some external reward. Ooh, new jewelry, cards, new golf clubs, get to go out with the guy. The reward is not an external reward. What's the reward for demonstrating love? Being in love. What's the reward for being loyal? A loyal relationship. That is, so that's the pasuk says. That's exactly what the pasuk says. Baruch HaGever Sheyiftach B'Hashem. And what's the Sachar Tov? What's the reward? V'Haya Hashem Mivtacho. Mivtacho. Rav Elva the Brisker Rav had a different interpretation, or based on an interpretation of the Brisker Rav. Pasuk says it's not yet Elul, You're still allowed to sit there a little bit. Kaveh el Hashem chazak v'yametz libecha. V'kaveh el Hashem. Put your trust in your hope in Hashem. Be strong and find courage in your heart. V'kaveh el Hashem, and be hopeful to Hashem. Why do we repeat ourselves? Kaveh el Hashem, and then we have to repeat Kaveh el Hashem. So the Brisker Rav said a magnificent interpretation. He said the schar, the reward that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the Bala Bitachon is he gives you more bitachon. He gives you more bitachon. And that's the pshat in the pasuk. You listening? Kaveh el Hashem. You're facing and confronting a difficult circumstance, uncertainty, doubt, anxiety. You don't know what's going to be. Put your trust, somehow find the resolve. Somehow find the ability to trust Hashem. Kaveh el Hashem, trust Him. And you know what the reward is? Then chazak v'yametz libecha, Hashem is going to strengthen and put courage in your heart. V'kaveh el Hashem, and you'll be able to trust Him even more. You don't know, how am I going to get where I need to go? How will I get through this? How will I overcome this? How will I navigate around this? Where will this trust come from? Put a little bit of trust in Hashem, Kaveh el Hashem, and said the Brisker Rav, that's the pshat. The reward for demonstrating trust in Hashem is chazak v'yametz libecha v'kaveh el Hashem. He'll give you more trust in Him. He'll give you more trust. So maybe that's the pshat. The same sachar tov, l'chol habotchem b'shimcha be'emes. What's the sachar tov? I thought we don't get reward in this world. The reward for having bitachon, He gives us more bitachon. Demonstrate a little bitachon, and He'll provide more bitachon in order to get through, in order to get around and over what we need to. We still didn't address why bitachon. And what do you mean? L'chol habotchem b'shimcha be'emes. Can you have another kind of bitachon? Is there a bitachon of sheker? That the bracha qualifies it only be'emes? What's the difference between bitachon and emunah dveikus? We'll pick up with next time.